All right, let's talk about reefing for a second. So the Precision 18 comes standard with a conventional single line slab reef. So what makes it conventional is that it has a reefing hook at the gooseneck of the boom. So the single line reef basically is a single line that goes through a kringle at the leech of the sail right there. It's connected on the port side, goes up through the kringle on the leech, comes back down through a cheek block on the boom, and then runs up the boom to a horn cleat. And normally all of this equipment is on the starboard side, and that way while you're doing the reef you can have the right of way because you can be on a starboard tack if you're able to do that. And then here's the reef hook also again on the starboard side. Okay, so the standard P18 comes with a single reef. The sails have a single reef, and the boom has the equipment for just one reef. So what I did is I actually added a second reef because I'm out in Colorado and it's super windy out here. So you can see where I have the original cheek block and then the new cheek block just above it, and that lines up with a higher second kringle. And so when you reef, what you want to do is you want to be either motoring into the wind, or you can also do it hove to, because that takes the pressure off the main. And I marked my main halyard so that I know how far to let the sail down when I reef. So the basic reefing procedure is, so first you want to slack your main a little bit, your main sheet, and you want to make sure your boom vang is slack. Then you want to take your main halyard, lower the main halyard, catch the reefing hook, go ahead and pull your main halyard back up, then pull the reefing line to snug up the kringle to the boom, and then tie your sail ties. So we'll go ahead and go through that. Okay, so again, normally we do this either in irons, motoring into the wind, or hove to, but right now there's very little wind and the boat is beached, so very little pressure on the sail. So I'm going to go ahead and release the main halyard. Right to my pre-marked spot. Okay, so I'm sitting on the cabin roof, and as you can see, not all the sail lugs came all the way down. So you just got to make sure you push them down in the track. So here's my left kringle, and all I want to do is put that just like that over the hook. And then I'll go ahead and tighten the main halyard. Okay, so I've retightened the main halyard, and now I need to deal with the leech of the sail. So I do that through this line right here, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down until it comes down to meet the boom. Okay, so here's what your reefed main looks like, and then tightened up at the horn cleat. Reef kringle on the left is connected at the gooseneck to the reef hook. So at this point, the only thing left is to go ahead and snug up your little sail ties. So you don't want any tension on them at all, because they can rip. So they're really just to kind of control the bottom of the sail. So you just want to tighten them up real loose. Okay, so now I have my sail ties, my reefing sail ties tied to the boom. Now one note is because I have a second reef right here, so obviously when the sail comes down for the first reef, this line gets very slack, and so I also have to tighten that line up as well every time I single reef. So you can see right there, that's the horn cleat. So this is the first reef, this is the second reef. When you do the one reef, they both have to be tightened up and the slack taken out. So if you end up doing a second reef, the first reef will already be tightened up, so you don't have to actually do anything with that when you put a second reef in. You just have to retighten this line and then use the sail ties for the second reef. Okay, so this is what the boat looks like with a single reef in, and you can see it's reduced the sail area quite a bit. The second reef actually reduces it by half, so you can see this line right here. That's the second reef, and that reduces it from 85 square foot main to 40 square feet in the main. Okay, so here you go, reefed mainsail on the Precision 18. So that's what it'll look like when you're all done.